Now, to go back to Malaysia, what I would say is that the Malay-speaking people have their cousins in Thailand, in Patani. In 1902, the people living in Patani found themselves on the wrong side of the border. This was likely because of the deal between the British and the ruling king of Siam. Now they call themselves Thailand. Now the king of Siam took over Patani and all the provinces and districts in that area, and the towns. Hat Yai is a major Muslim city, Songkhla, major Muslim city. Now all those areas had Islamic culture and civilization the way we describe in Indonesia, in Malaysia, in India, in Africa, and the Middle East. But what has happened is, since 1902, there has been a gradual and systematic Thaization or Siamization of the Javi-speaking people, to the point that many of the Pondok, this is the Javi Malay term for Quranic schools, the Pondok. Now, you begin to see that the Pondok was gradually taken over by these by these Thais, to the point that the Thai government began to encourage the creation of Islamic schools that were under the control of the Ministry of Education in Thailand. And of course, many of those Muslims were now subjected to the program of Thaization. And of course, the Patani Liberation Movement, which fought against Haji Yusuf, who led this struggle against the Thais, was killed. And then, of course, some of his followers went to the bush and they started fighting against the Thai government. Now there is some kind of modus vivendi, to the point that today the foreign minister of Thailand came from that part of Thailand, Surin. And he is a Harvard graduate. And of course, he speaks Thai just like the other Thais. So he is part of that compromise between the Muslim ruling groups in southern Thailand and the Thai leadership in Bangkok.